It's a very good welcome here to Henson Park. It's round 6 of the AFL Sydney, the BLK AFL Sydney competition, and it is Community Umpire Appreciation Round. And as you can see, both teams coming in here at Henson Park to appreciate the work and the commitment that the umpires make in the competitions around the country. Of course, we hear a lot about footballers training 2-3 nights a week to better their game. But one thing that we don't recognise all the time is the amount of work that the umpires do put in. So a great initiative to recognise the contribution the community umpires make to our great game. And as you can see, shaking hands with all the players prior to this match. It's Western Suburbs versus the UTS Bats here at Henson Park. A big game for both teams. Western Suburbs yet to get a win on the board for 2015. And UTS, well, we saw them out here in round 1 against the Bulldogs, and that has been their only win thus far in the season. As the both teams break. A bit of a late start here at Henson Park. The game before ran over time. I'm not sure why. There may have been injury earlier in the night, but a wonderful spectacle here under lights at Henson Park. We're just seeing the toss of the coin there. Western Suburbs kicking to the right of screen, and they will look to take the advantage early. In fact, it's UTS that are kicking the right of screen. Bit confusing. Have seen a lot of Western Suburbs playing in the white strip, and of course the home side today wearing the black and white, the traditional black and white of Western Suburbs. They'll be looking for a big effort across the board. Their team has been a bit unsettled going into the season, but now hitting round 6, it is a good opportunity for this team to really start just stringing some wins together and getting some cohesion in the ranks. You see them there. To find out the story behind the blue socks, certainly not a traditional colour of Western Suburbs. We'll find that out before the end of the match. As I said, umpire appreciation round, community umpire appreciation round here in AFL Sydney, and we look forward to a great effort across both sides, and of course the umpires as well this afternoon. The team's breaking now, and looking forward to this contest. If I had to pick a team, look, Western Suburbs are a dogged team and have been over the years, and if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Western Suburbs just because their season so far has been, by their own account, disappointing, and they will be desperate to get a win on the board tonight. We're all set here at Henson Park. Of course, the umpires umpiring tonight, we've got Luke Jobson, Blake Langer and Matthew Bagent in the middle, and we wish them well this afternoon or this evening. Umpires set. Zoom in the ruck for the Bats. He'll go up against Gordon. Gordon, umpire holds the ball aloft. We're just about set here at Henson Park. And straight away, it's Western Suburbs get the advantage, but the ball's locked up inside the square. We'll have a secondary ball up. And once again, Western Suburbs with a quick clearance. They go inside 50. Back there for UTS is Perks. Just works the ball wide, looking for Boland. Comes out to this near side, one-on-one contest. And well done by the Bats. Bounce almost got away there of Harvey. Steps inside. Handball didn't really hit a target. He goes again. Bottom of the pack there was Edo. Couldn't get a kick clear. Polly goes back on it from there. Gordon back again through Bevan. Be excited to see him play this afternoon. They're going backwards to go forwards at the moment, the Magpies. Eventually get a kick going forward and hits a target in the form of Robinson. Moves the ball quickly. I like that. And a good mark taken by Brenton Mumm. They move it again quickly inside 50, and there's a free kick coming. It's going to be a push in the back, and it'll be a shot on goal. Ross it is, Jake Ross. And he'll kick from right on the paint. And this would be a good start for Western Suburbs if they can get it through the line. Ross just opens up the angle. It's on its way, it's pushing left, and it's offline, just the minor score, but the opening score of the game. Goes to Western Suburbs. A beautiful night here at Henson Park tonight. Very mild, not a breath of air, a breath of wind in the air. Great conditions for football. We've seen some interesting conditions over the last few weeks. And that's an ugly looking kick out of the back line there. Lands in the arms of Lamont. Goes forward, has a player free. UTS, series of kicks, and they're looking at going inside 50. Good work at ground level. That was Hines. Umpire sent a free kick holding the ball. It's going to go to Western Suburbs. And Van den Nieuwenhof. Cross to Gordon. Gordon with a short kick. Goes to Mum. Made space in the middle. They want to go straight down the middle. Kick is ball. Lands in the arms there of Speed. He's one to watch this evening. Come up from Albury. And definitely one to keep your eye on. They go inside 50. A good passage of play from the Magpies. Unable to take the mark was McGrath. Drops it up. Running on his UTS. Pushing back there was Meta. And they get the kick away. Good contest in the middle of the ground. Brings it to ground. Good tackle from Speed. Can be rewarded. The umpire's going to hold this one up. And it'll be a ball up in the centre of the ground. Ball comes down. Plenty of players. Speed again applies the tackle. Coming out from underneath. I think that's Edo. And throws it on the boot. Goes inside 50. Trying to get his hands on the ball was Ross, and in the process gives away a free kick. UTS. Perks with the ball. Drives them forward. Good punch from behind. And the ball goes out of bounds with a throw in near side. Open up a bit now. One-on-one contests around the ground. Third man up, trying to bring it down. Running onto it there was Maddox. Got it clear. And UTS go forward. Mark unable to be taken on this occasion there by Baker. But they got plenty of numbers. Kick from Moyle inside 50, but pushing back in there was Barrett. Couldn't take the mark though, under a bit of pressure now. The little touch from Lemmy puts in the path of Bevan, and composed in the back line. Puts a little bit of pressure there on Van den Nieuwenhof. Still got the ball in front at the moment, the Magpies. Pressure coming. And reefed out of the tackle. Bevan applies the tackle there. Also in there is Polly. Throws his arms in the air. Polly comes away with it. Puts it on the boot. Now, fake there from Mitchell. Looked like he was going to give the handball away. Just stepped inside. Just indiscriminate kick inside 50. No one able to take the mark. In there, Barrett for the Western Suburbs. Polly comes over and it's high contact. And it'll be a shot on goal for UTS. Unfortunate there. Polly was attacking the football, but the player just dropped. And it'll be Daniel Hines to take a shot on goal for UTS. Yet to be a goal scored in the game. Hines with his opportunity for UTS. Drops the ball awkwardly, but it looks not too bad off the boot. In fact, he's pushed it left. And just the minor score. So they set up here. UTS. Sort of a zone, sort of a one-on-one. There's not a lot of structure, but they've plugged the holes, so they decide to go long. Ball goes for, oh, great mark taken. Umpire pays it. Falling away, and Speed wants it back. Zoppo took the mark, falling down, and the kick's a good one as well. Was looked for Wilmot, couldn't take the mark, got the position. Now they've got the numbers, UTS. Want to lock this in. That's a win for Western Suburbs. I like that. And it'll be a ball up, far side of Henson Park. They were outnumbered, the Magpies. Brings the ball down. Plenty of white jumpers around this one. They go backwards to go forwards. Comes back inside. Under pressure there was Ibovic. They got the ball out into some space. Running onto it there, and could have been tackled. Moyle, dispossessed. Speed was good. Now they go inside 50, running onto it. Oh, that was Ross again, I think. Just couldn't take the mark. Lost it in the lights. I'll give him the advantage. And some good tackling in the back half from UTS. And looks like they might get away with it. Maddox under pressure now. Handball didn't go to a target. And this is good pressure from the Magpies early. Looked like they were going to get away. Edo tries to invent something going forward. Eventually McGrath, top of the square, not a bad option, almost running onto it. Was Jordan Edo. He's in there still. And this is good for Western Suburbs. They've got a ball up deep inside their 50. Still searching for the first goal of the match. Ball comes off Ross. He's been in everything so far. Just a quick kick off the boot. How will it bounce? Not the way he wanted it to. And just goes offline for another behind. He's been lively, Jake Ross. Western Suburbs, similar thing. They've sort of set up man on man. UTS have got the extra at this contest. They can use it. Big fly, and the mark's been paid. It's Ross in front. The fly came on that occasion from Cam Gordon, but Jake Ross stood tall. Hands it off now to Bevan. Bevan pops it up, looking inside. Goes over the back of Wilmot, and eventually it'll go over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. Look at that fly again. Good take from Jake Ross. They go inside 50 again, Western Suburbs. Back of the pack. Well read, good tackle applied. Could get away with this now, Zoppo. In there, Ross tries to invent something off the outside of the boot. Unfortunately, comes up short and out of bounds on the full as a result. They're doing all the attacking at the moment, the Magpies. Gordon at the back. And some good work there on the behalf of Tom Zilm. Sees the ball over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. 9 minutes played, first term. Just said, a bit of a delayed start. Scheduled for a 7 o'clock start. Gordon looks to have put on a bit of size. Now it's UTS on the attack. One-on-one contest, and the ball go over the boundary line. Leading the way there was Mitchell for the Bats. In fact, it was Hines. And the ball going over the boundary line. Unopposed, the ball comes down, Western Suburbs, but runs out of room, does Brenton Mumm. And we'll have another boundary throw in. Saw the Little League at halftime of the reserves earlier tonight. That was great to see. So many kids out here enjoying our great game. And good initiative by the Western Suburbs Club. Gordon, unlucky not to get a free kick on that occasion. In fact, it's Milligan Seville in there as well. So Gordon and Zilm. Gordon definitely got the height advantage, but just finds himself behind. Another throw in. 10.5 played, still yet to be a score of a goal, that is, on the board. Western Suburbs lead 2 behinds, just a single to UTS. Gordon again caught out of position. Pushing through was Larby. Exciting player for the Bats. Tried to put the brakes on and go backwards. But the tackle came. And Taranetto gets up last off that one. Right near the interchange gates here. As Robinson comes on for Western Suburbs. They push it forward again. Bevan there, but it's Harvey who tracks it back. He could have been tackled. Got rid of the ball, the umpire said. Edo in there, and the umpire's going to say holding the ball here. Interesting decision, as I think Edo actually had it. Gives it off now to Mumm. Opens up a little bit of space, goes direct, looking for Ross at the back, but well read. And UTS able to stop the attack. They go wide out of defence, not a bad option. And now they're looking for an extra player, but pushing back into that contest. Good courage from Robinson. Coming away with it is Baker. He's tackled. Umpire said holding the ball. And there's speed. So he was one to watch, and he's certainly proving that at the moment. Robinson, another one to keep your eye on. Taped up early in the game. Goes long, looking for home. Offline. Another minor score. Just can't find the big opening at the moment. But they're doing all the attacking, the Magpies. They need to get it on the board, though. Can't afford to dominate the quarter and really only come away with a small margin at the end. And of course, if UTS go down the other end and score one, then all their hard work is undone. Here we go again. Good pick up from Robinson. Goes on the left, a scrubby looking kick, looking for Mum. Goes through his hands. Edo puts his head over it. Tries to burrow through, can't get through. Mum gets in there again. And this one will be wrapped up. And the umpire will say, I'll have it. Once again, very good attack on the football by Western Suburbs. Gordon brings it down to speed. Little chip kick inside. No one able to take the mark. Putting the brakes on, trying to go underneath there was Harricks. And eventually it's tackled. The ball's wrapped up in there. We'll have another bounce. Plenty of stoppages in this first term. A little bit of push and shove. Nothing really to talk about. Brings it down. Now UTS with a chance to get it out of the danger zone. Awkward bounce. Gordon has set himself back. Runs back onto it. Good work from Gordon. Goes across goal. Great kick. Found Bevan in open space. Bevan's kick is another good one. They've got some runners. Now it's Robinson. They've linked up well. Wants to run on. Trying to time the handball. He could be in trouble now. Gets it away. Gives it over. Good tackle applied. Ipovic it was who got the ball away. And another indiscriminate kick out of the back line to a contest this game. They've got the numbers now, UTS. Picking up well, that's Maddox. Works it back on the left, puts it up out in front. Probably a little bit too much air underneath it. Allowed the defender to get back. Good work from Lemmy. Just pops out into space. Could have got the free kick and does. Well played from Newbury. Not a lot to go to, one-on-one contest, so he has to go wide to the line. Coming from the back, Ross couldn't take the mark. Handball's a hot one from Cannon, but it got to its target. They drive it inside 50. Mark's taken, wanted to go, but intelligently just held up, did Thomas Charles. Now he pops it up, looking for Ross again. Some good work on that occasion from Perks with the spoil, and they're out, UTS. Milligan Seville, but once again it's numbers for UTS. Drives it inside 50. The extra number back there was Lemmy, and he's done well to get the ball and in front. Butters up again. Bit of slow motion there from Van den Nieuwenhof, but speed, as his name suggests, gets it away. Good kick. Looked like it was going to be a turnover, but was just had enough weight on it for McGrath to make the contest. Goes in again, tries to rip the ball out, does McGrath. Robinson as well at the bottom of the pack. Just pops out in front. And running onto it, Kerber gives the handball out. That's Meta. Inside 50, not almost stuck. Lemmy again, big body back there. Bevan, and now the clearing kick. Goes down the line. Finds Zoppo on the wing. Wants to go inside. Back to Bevan under pressure. It's a good kick out in front of Mum. Wants to run onto it. Just needs a nice bounce. Gets it now. Gets away from his opponent. Steps inside. Got the hand in there, but nearly got the ball clear. In there also is Pearson. And the tacklers come. And it'll be a ball up. It's a fast-paced game at the moment. And yet, not a goal scored by either side at the 16-minute mark of this, the first term. Ross went up as third man. Coming away with it is Caker. His kick does not travel a metre. And it goes over the boundary line. That went straight up, about 30 metres in the air. But certainly didn't cover any ground laterally. Set for boundary throw in. "17 minutes played. It's 3 behinds to 1 behind. Trying to get the ball clear, just kicking in traffic at the moment. Edo leads the chase. Coming in with some closing pace was Hines. A good tackle. Could have been high there. Umpire didn't see it. And it goes over the boundary line. And we'll have a boundary throw in. So the boys on the hill enjoying the mild weather here tonight. Brought the heavy jacket. Not necessary as yet. And the ruck was Marl. Western Suburbs, not a lot of space to work with, and it goes over the boundary line. And we'll have another throw in, another stoppage. Western Suburbs really have done the bulk of the attacking so far, but unable to put it on the scoreboard. Plenty of numbers around this. Players ask the question, but the umpire comes in and says, "I'll have it." Free kick coming. It's going to go to Maddox, too high. No one forward of halfway at the moment for UTS, so there's plenty of numbers in the middle of the ground. Kicks to a 2-on-1. Cameron Gordon takes a good mark, third man in line. Drives them back into attack. Looking for Ross again, but just worked under the ball. It's a good contest there from Ross and Perks in the back line, certainly in the UTS back line. I'd have to say Perks is really on top at the moment. Now UTS with a little bit of space. The kick comes quickly. Couldn't take the chest mark. And goes over the boundary line. Disappointing result for Daniel Hines. So he's set for another stoppage. Still no goal scored. Shallow throw in. Comes down Bevan on the left. Really raise the eyes. Good smother comes. Didn't quite know where it went after it came off the smother. But some good work there by, that's Tom Charles. We'll have another boundary throw in. For a goalless quarter, it's been entertaining. There'll be some relief when that does, the goal eventually comes. That tackle could have been high. The umpire said it was all okay. And we'll have another stoppage. The first team that can really break this one open. As we ticking the time on in the first quarter, and still no goal score. The tackle comes. Considine it was who was wrapped up. And a free kick going to UTS. It's Moyle. Kick down the line, good spoil from behind from Lemmy. Yet the ball comes clear. How will this one bounce? It's wayward, and another minus score. The margin 1 point. It's 3 behinds, plays 2 behinds. Bevan with the kicking. Decides to go to himself, trying to break the line. Kicks to a 2-on-1, not a great option, and UTS come with the numbers. They drive it back inside, and Bevan able to mop up his own mistake. Comes out the near side now and finds Gordon. Gordon swings around. There's one-on-one contests around. Some good work by Edo to get in front of his player and eventually works it over the boundary line. Could we have a goalless quarter? Certainly not what either side would like, but it looks like it's going to go that way. As the siren does sound, And we have a goalless quarter here at Henson Park. There's a tight tussle from both sides. And as we go into the quarter-time break, and as you can imagine, not a lot of time on in that first term. Western Suburbs dominated the play, but unable to put it on the scoreboard. And we go into the quarter-time break. Just the 3 behinds to Western Suburbs. And UTS, they scored the 2 behinds, and that is the score. Margin's 1 point. Low-scoring affair, obviously, but exciting as it is. Join us in a couple of minutes' time. We'll bring you all the action from the second quarter. We're back here at Henson Park with the scoreline telling the story so far. Goalless first term by both sides, and the margin just a single point. Only 5 points scored for the game. We're set for the second term. And that one will be coming back. An entertaining game. There was plenty of movement of the ball. It wasn't camped in one end, but Western Suburbs would be a little bit disappointing. They weren't able to put a better score on the board. They really did the attacking. Speed there for Western Suburbs. Could get the free kick. The umpire says yes. Little hand in the back. Goes to the Magpies. Wants to move the ball quickly. Gordon at the back of the pack. Read it well. Just couldn't hold the mark. Umpire said he did enough. And Gordon, the kick. Not a great one, though. Just tunnel ball. Eventually gets to Pearson, unable to pick it up. Tackle comes. Umpire's seen something here. It's going to be a throw. Going to be advantage to Western Suburbs. Pearson runs on. Puts it at the top of the square. No one home for Western Suburbs. The mark unable to be taken by Perks. But back there was Chambers for UTS. And gets the clearing kick. Working hard, Wilmot. Getting back in support is McGrath. Goes around one. In trouble now. Tries to invent something, go forward. Fortuitous kick there. Lands in the arms of Robinson, and he'll take a kick from right on the 50-metre line. And maybe this could be the first goal of the game. Josh Robinson. Just outside 50 from 51. Not got the distance on it. The fly comes almost there for Ross. Still in front. Tries to go back inside. Perks right on top of him. Applies the tackle. Spills clear. The tacklers come. And they eventually rush it through for another behind. Best opportunity so far on the goal line for Western Suburbs. Ends up in a rush behind. Pressure right on UTS at the moment, but they've done well on most occasions to hold out the Magpies. Big kick from defence. Good work reading the play back there is Zoppo. Tries to punch it through. Eto goes inside. He'll want to get it back. Ducks the head. Could be holding the ball here. Eventually got it clear. Lamont kicks the ball forward for UTS. Big hit comes. Larby it was, trying to track the ball through. Now they've got some space. Hines puts it on the boot. Ugly looking kick going forward, and Lemmy's back there. Read it well. And takes the relieving mark. Play it down the centre. Former Robinson. Likes to run. I've liked the look of him so far. McGrath the target. Couldn't get there. Meta goes back to Mitchell. Short little kick. Doesn't get much yardage, but opens up a little bit of space. Kick comes forward now. Larby, a long way from home. Just chips it in. Really didn't take his time off one step. Hines, he's wrapped up in a tackle by Barrett. Eventually coming up. UTS, the kick goes forward, but once again Lemmy back there, unable to take the mark. Under a bit of pressure now at the Magpies. Can't afford to give up the first goal. Handball comes, and On there is Maddox, gets a little bit of space, goes wide. Under pressure with the kick. Bevan tracks it back, steps inside, composure, and gets it out. And once again, finds Robinson. Robinson to Gordon, got a little bit of space. They close in now, can't afford to take the bounce, can't afford to mess the bounce up. It goes over the boundary line. Not a bad result, but it could have been better for the Magpies. They say about Ruckman bouncing, it's a long way down, it's even further back. Through comes in, shallow. Again, to his advantage, Zilm. Got the ball going forward. Good work. Turning around Tregoning. Pops it up, not a bad looking kick. And finds Breeze on the mark. And this is their best opportunity now, UTS. The big fella in Daniel Breeze. Line up for a shot. He'll kick from about 40 out. The distance shouldn't be an issue. And will we see the first goal of the game? 5-minute mark of the second term. Just confirming where the mark is, Breeze. Give himself a lot of room. Will only be about 10 steps in. Breeze. Let's go now. Doesn't look good off the boot, although it's worked its way back in. And UTS get the first of the quarter, the first of the game. And they take the lead. It's great work by UTS to get the ball going forward. And a nice finish from Breeze sees the first goal of the game. 5-minute mark, second term. Back in the middle now. Get the sense now the game can start. The first goal has been recorded. The Magpies need to answer. Got some problems in their backline at the moment. They're one short in the backline. Wingman has pushed up now. Doing a little bit. That recalled bounce has really helped Western Suburbs on that occasion. Lots of pointing and waving in their back half. Can't afford to let this one get through. Good pick up from Cannon. Goes back to Bevan. It's been lively. Expect from the former Sydney Swan. Steps inside. Beautifully done. We're on this full distance. Drives them inside. Plenty of UTS bats around this one. Good tackle coming from Tom Charles. Interesting story. Thomas Charles won the South Coast League's best and fairest last year. Decided to test himself up here in Premier Division. And he's looked lively already. So one to watch as well. UTS just drive the ball out of defence. Not a bad option, although they're outnumbered here. Some good work though. Some attack on the football from Tregoning. Pops it up. They've got the overlap now. Plenty of run. Stepping back inside is Baker. Now they're in trouble. The Magpies come. Tackle's good. Could have been a free kick off the deck. Polly put his body on the line. Dispossessed. Umpire says it's okay. No one able to find the handle at the moment. Eventually it comes clear. UTS. Baker swings it back inside, looking for Breeze. Oh, beautiful pick up for the big man. Swings around, but chopped off. And now, what can the Magpies find? They've got the one-on-one. They've got to support now. Some very good work on that occasion. It was Zoppo. And that almost out of bounds on the full. They asked the question, but the boundary umpire right on the spot. A boundary throw in. 1-2 to UTS, just the 4 behinds to Western Suburbs, who played 8 minutes second term here at Henson Park. Beautiful conditions for football. You could be mistaken for thinking it was driving rain and windy, but not a breath of wind in the air. His mum goes laterally. Bevan tackled as he took possession. Some good work. Now UTS with a bit of run. They go forward looking for Breeze. He's got the sit. And he takes the mark. I think he went for the spoil initially. And it landed fortuitously. And he took the mark. The umpire needs to bring the player back. He's happy with him on the paint there. Breeze kicks it forward, too easy. The big fella attacked the football. I thought he was going to run straight through the pack. He dished off eventually to Baker. And Baker will kick from right on 50. Might test him. Plenty of players on the line. Steps over the paint. Looks good off the boot. Has it got the legs? It certainly has. And UTS get the second. And from all the good work from Western Suburbs, they give up 2 goals and they trail by 10 points. A quick look at that mark from Breeze. The ball came in. He just had a perfect set. Pushing back. I reckon he went to spoil. Oh, might have been lucky. Came off his nose though. But that counts. Back in the middle now. Margin 10 points in favour of UTS. Needless to say, it's the biggest margin of the game. Sherwood turns the ball around. And a good mark taken. This is Zoppo. Wants to move it quickly. Looks Bevan on the run. Has to go back to get it. Quickly on the right boot. How will this one sit? Won't go the journey. And eventually rushed over. Another behind to Western Suburbs. But a better sign. Running Paul Bevan. Not a lot of movement for this kick in, so they go long down the middle. Sits and sets himself well. Zoppo goes inside 50. Ross the target, and beautifully read by Perks. He's winning that battle at the moment. They go wide, UTS. Players just sitting back. Speed on that occasion, I think it was. But it's not. It's Milligan Seville caught behind. Now UTS. Was Tregoning with a little toe poke going through. Might get it back here, just couldn't find the handle. It was Baker, and it goes over the boundary line. 11 minutes played, second term. UTS have put the 2 goals on the board so far this quarter. Kerber comes on for UTS. There's Ross coming off now. I think they're just trying to find a different matchup for Jake Ross. Going forward now, Edo drops his head. Could have been held. I sometimes see that, the second effort from the umpire, taken high, but on this occasion, calls holding the ball. And the kick will go to Larby. Seen him playing forward quite a bit, out on the wings at the moment. The kick was a good one. Found Zilm. Too far out to score. Pushing back to the line is... Occasion was looking for Hines, but drops short. Baker drops the chest mark. Can't get away with that, especially in the forward line. Putting some pressure on was Sherwood. At the bottom of the pack now. Got to be careful he doesn't wrap this one up. Ball eventually comes clear. The umpire will have a close look at it and say, I'll have it. Ball up. Problem for Sherwood. Bottom of the pack. Very slow to get up. Careful, the umpire might bounce it on your back. Very slow to his feet. Punch forward on that occasion from Zilm. Trying to open up some space. Some good work in defence from the Magpies. The ball is out. Going down the line. UTS with numbers. Trying to push it through. There was Ibovic. Hits some feet and goes back the other way. In there, some good work at ground level from Zoppo. Just got his hand amongst it. Made sure the ball didn't spill clear. Waited for the cavalry to come. Wilmot spins out of one. Now comes back. Zoppo has to do some more work at ground level. Stands up in the tackle. Good work. And then Eto is tackled. And we'll have a ball up. Just see on his haunches there was Josh Zoppo. Very good work to wrap that one up. Allow his teammates to come in support. Another stoppage, 13 and a half played second term. Gordon on this occasion beaten. Bevan went the player, almost wanted to knock him out of the way, couldn't do so. Applies a big tackle and forces a stoppage on the boundary line. We reset. Drive it forward, a big fist out of the contest there. How will this one sit? Beautifully read by, that was Taranetto. And the kick left a bit to be desired. And it goes out of bounds. Looking for Pearson on that occasion. They need a goal, Western Suburbs. They've been impressive, but unable to put it on the board. UTS are just starting to work themselves into the game. Just affected the tackle. Speed now goes back with a big sweeping handball, looking for Gordon. Finds him. Pins around one. Just drops it on the boot quickly, going forward. Not a bad kick in the end. Couldn't get there. Was Thomas. Sorry, Thomas Charles. Wary of the players with two first names. Worked under the ball on that occasion by Murrell. Eto again, spins out of one tackle, goes back the other way and gets a massive falcon. And that's his brother, I think. And he's down. Not what you want. Not only friendly fire, it's family fire. See here, Eto spins out of one tackle. Drops it on the boot. Whack! He's still not great. Jordan's Edo. He's worked his way back in now. Big punch from Murrell. As good as a kick. Hands to Tregoning, did well. Almost fumble helped him, and the kick was a good one as well. Working his way around now is Hewitt. Probably didn't really size up his options well and turns it over in the back half. Western Suburbs looking for speed, sets him a task. Did well to bring it to ground, and then eventually umpire's seen a hot free, holding free. It's going to be to Western Suburbs. Just held off the ball, which didn't need to be done. As Cannon will take the free kick. UTS were out. Jake Ross found a new tight lineup for him. Ivovic is standing him now. Would have pushed him up to centre half forward. Tacklers come. Charles was in there, standing up in the tackle and getting it on the boot. It was just offline. Robinson, a couple of blokes wearing not a Elastoplast headband out there at the moment. Robinson's been one of their best so far, Western Suburbs. 17 minutes played. Could it be a goalless half for Western Suburbs? That certainly won't help their cause. High ball, Bevan at the back. Went too early. Gordon brought it down. One-on-one contests. It's been good defensive game so far, as the scoreline would suggest. Out of bounds, over boundary throw in. Again, man on man all around the ground. Murrell and Gordon. Bevan goes back, could have been high, and the umpire says yes. Dangerous. Almost could have been pushed into the contest there, Tyson Lloyd. He's come off second best too. Looks like a cork. Also down Ben Moyle. Bevan comes away with a free kick, so look good on the scorecard. Problems for Western Suburbs are on a different type of scorecard. They just cannot get a goal on the board. Bevan's kick is low and offline, and just as easy as you like, the turnover from Harvey. The coach won't like that. More experienced, talented players turning over as easily as that. Now Kaker decides to run. Almost kicked it 3 times before he actually did. Drives them inside 50. Stepping around, the tacklers come on Hewitt. In there is Considine. Couldn't get it clear. The ball just pinballing around at the moment. Handball out to Maddox for the running player in Lamont. And his kick is very ugly and offline. Out of bounds on the full. Margin 8 points in favour of UTS. And we're approaching time on in the second quarter. Western Suburbs yet to score a goal, but to their credit, they've only restricted UTS to 2 themselves, so it is all set up. Bevan takes a good mark in front of an appreciative crowd. It's been everywhere, has Paul Bevan. And well read, Robinson. Got out of a bit of traffic and it just opened up, took a chest mark. Drives them forward, now looking for Charles. With a bit of pace, wants this to turn around, sits well for him, gets away from his opponent, goes back inside, pops it up, not a good looking kick. Might have done enough there, Ross, but plenty of UTS players in defence and just steps it over the line. They might do this in behinds, yet the Magpies still yet to score a goal. Their defence has been good though, but for a few lapses this quarter. They've really been disciplined with their man-on-man approach. Now UTS get it clear. Just slipped off his man on that occasion, did Hewitt. Handed it off to Lloyd. The kick not a great one, and back there again, Paul Bevan. A good mark taken under pressure. Wants to go through the middle. A good kick. Found Considine. Considine wides, found Sherwood in a bit of space, sets him a task, and well read by UTS. It was Jacob Harvey going back with the flight of the ball. There's too much air underneath the footy. Sherwood unable to take the mark. Was a good decision to go wide to the open player. Just couldn't get it to him. Robinson wrapped up in the tackle there with Kerber. And have another ball up. Into time on. Second quarter. Western Suburbs yet to score a goal. Meta tries to go off the deck, sits it up nicely, almost Gaelic style on that occasion. Not really what his intentions were. This might fall well for them. Bevan in there again. He's wrapped up in a tackle. No prior opportunity. So there'll be a ball up. It's been a rock back there for Western Suburbs. But they really need someone running, breaking the lines. And they need a target up forward. Bevan again. Gets the ball clear. They've got a player in space in McGrath. Needs to stop, weigh up his options. What presents? Not a lot forward. Charles comes now. He's on a long lead, so he decides to go short. Not a bad option. Speed. Just chips it forward again. Not a great kick, and reading it well is Ipovitz. It's a coach killer. They go back to the 2-on-1. In fact, there's a 3-on-1 now with Edo. Decides to go underground. Well done. Runs into a little bit of trouble, but Eto backs up. Now he goes short. Needs to hit a target. Doesn't do so. And playing on Moyle under pressure. In there as well. Mitchell dispossessed. Got the ball clear, said the umpire, and will be over the boundary line. And we'll have a boundary throw in. 22.5 played. Second term. The margin only 7 points. And when you consider the Western Suburbs yet to score a major, it's an interesting scoreline to say the least. Speed. Swings it around. Robinson trying to run onto it. But doing very well now, UTS. Stepping inside, opening up the spaces. They're working their way into this game, which is a bit of a concern for the Magpies. Boland's kick's a good one. They got players free now. That's too early. Umpire will say play on. Oh, you got there. Genuine attempt, but stepping inside and kicking the goal off the back of the pack, right on the siren too. And UTS get another one. And off the boot there, I think it's Hines, I think it is. And they go into the break with a nice little margin of 13 points. Have a quick look at that goal and how it played out. really came out of nowhere. Almost a free kick given away, but Hines just stepped inside and finished off. And UTS, well, great end of the quarter for them. And some soul searching to be done on the other side of the ledger in Western Suburbs. We'll take a break here at half time. As we said before, it is Community Umpire Appreciation Round here in the AFL Sydney competition, and we'll go to the halftime break with the story so far. Western Suburbs yet to score a goal, just the 7 behinds, but they only trail by 13 points. UTS 3-2-20. That's the scoreline at halftime. We'll take a short break, but join us for all the action in the second half as we return for the AFL Sydney BLK Match of the Week. So it's a welcome back here to Henson Park. Getting prepared for the second half here in this round 6 game between Western Suburbs and UTS. And if you've just joined us, it's Western Suburbs yet to kick a goal in this game. UTS have 3 on the board, but the margin's still only 13 points. Can turn in the blink of an eye. And that is definitely what Western Suburbs will be striving for early on in the second term. Of course, it is Community Umpire Appreciation Round. And we started the game off with a good ceremony here at Henson Park with all players shaking hands with the umpires. And I must say they've been doing a fantastic job so far, not only in this game, but in season 2015. There's really been some good football played at times under some very trying conditions, but the umpires have been there and have really done a fantastic job so far in 2015. And we do thank them for the hard work that they put in. It's not only footballers who dedicate a lot of time and energy to their craft, it is the umpires as well. As Western Suburbs breaks, they were very late to come out for this second half. Some of the viewers may have seen or heard at the halftime break, Coach Kevin Eno was very disappointed with aspects of their game, so he'll be looking to try and turn that around here in the second half. Umpire holds the ball aloft, almost set for the start of the third term. Can the Magpies get it back into the game, or will it be UTS to take away the chocolates this afternoon? We're underway. Straight away comes out of the pack, speed hitting the ball at speed. Just wants to get the ball going forward and forces a boundary throw in the pocket. A lot of highlights to come from the game so far, but it can all change very quickly. Wilmot in the ruck for Western Suburbs. Not sure if that's a change. Start this, McGrath comes up with the ball, tries to get it clear, finds the boot. Chip kick out. Sherwood trying to force his player off the ball, and it goes over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. Sure, if you are joining us, drop us a tweet. Just include the @AFL Sydney handle. And of course, for all your AFL Sydney news, make sure you head to sydneyafl.com.au each and every week. Match previews and reviews, and a bit of fun and games throughout the week as well, as Western Suburbs go inside 50. They need to convert. Charles Thomas couldn't get there. Sorry, Thomas Charles has got me beat that one. Just call him Chuck. As the ball's wrapped up. Eto at the bottom of the pack. Copped the hard knock from his brother in that second term. UTS have been stoic in defence. The Edo boys, they work it out. Jordan who gets it, but his kick smothered. Gets it back, gets around one, has to handball now. Edo Tarrant trying to work it clear. The ball's still in, And it's a kick off the boot, which goes out of bounds on the full. And it'll be a UTS kick. Still one-on-one contests. Bevan deep in defence for Western Suburbs. Well, he's letting his player in Lloyd have a bit of space. But sitting right in the defensive hole at the moment, Bevan. He's had a good game. Gordon works his player on the ball. Running onto the ball is speed. Can he kick the first for Western Suburbs? No. Offline again. Exciting turn of pace. As we like to see. We reset. 8 behinds, but they only trail by 12 points. Forced to move the ball on now. The Bats. Trying to get it clear. Some good work. Wilmot under the ball. Good pick up. Works it on the outside of the right boot. The kick not a great one. Mum turns around. Was online, but Kaker getting back. Stopping what could have been a major for the Magpies. Sets again. Robinson works it. Just misreads it. Gordon goes and gets his own football. Drives it inside again. Mum, another opportunity. It's on the left boot. Decides to straighten up at the back of the pack. Charles couldn't take the mark. And again, UTS repelled. Chambers' kick goes out of bounds. Zoppo up against Zilm. 2 Zs in the ruck. You don't see that very often. And the ball is wrapped up. We'll have another go at it. Once again, Western Suburbs winning the ruck. At ground level, there's Cannon. Another stoppage. Tackle count's been high. Score's been low. Zoppo gets his own ruck, puts it forward. Mum tries to go off the deck, couldn't quite get the boot to it. Still in the danger zone. In there again, Vanden Nieuwenhof. Spills forward. UTS in the last line. Meta's handball's a bit dangerous. Could give away the free kick. Could have been in the back, and it is. And this to get Western Suburbs on the board, but more importantly to reduce the margin to 6 points. It'll be Thomas Cannon to have a shot. And they'll be up and about if they get this one. Cannon. Leisurely approach. Kicks it out of bounds on the full. Said it a couple of times, but that is an absolute coach killer. He did not look interested in kicking that goal. And the result showed. Ball comes back in. Some good work by Maddox. Turns it around, goes down the line. Sits in, speed. In fact, it's Milligan Seville. Very similar physiques. Come across to Barrett. Barrett to Bevan. Bevan has to stop. Just a little fumble, put himself under pressure. Eto gets a handball up, goes and gets it again. Been very good. Could have been holding the man. It is. Taron Eto will get a free kick here. Wants to move the ball quickly. Got a player sitting in the defensive hole, UTS. And couldn't quite take the mark. Sits nicely. Going through was Cannon. And a shot on goal, and it's offline again. Kick comes in. Powering through there was Polly. Ball sits up. They've got all the players at the moment. UTS could have been high. Umpire says it's okay, but the mark's taken. Ryan Speed has been lively. Sits it up to the danger spot. UTS with the numbers. 2 up. They spoil each other. Charles overruns it. Coming through. Again, UTS under pressure. Sits up for McGrath. Swings it around the corner, and he's got there first. Margin back to 5. And they're up and about, the Western Suburbs boys. Exactly what they needed. It came from an opportunity. And it was Clint McGrath. 2 players up there for UTS. Charles tried to go off the deck. Baker, his handball was just too hot for Caker. Hitting the ball well, and McGrath just worked it around the corner nicely. Western Suburbs get there first. Back in the middle now. And for all their hard work, another goal will put them in front. Robinson tries to step away, but has worked over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. We said it, three-quarter or half-time. It's lining up to being an intriguing contest, and it certainly is that. Only 4 goals for the game, but you can't question the endeavour. One-on-one contests again all around the ground. Eto just couldn't find the handle, pops it up. Good run. Western Suburbs, they turned it around nicely. Got it going in their own direction. Eto just pushes his way through. Meta meets him hard. It wasn't Eto, that was Tom Cannon. And reset. Good knockdown. Wilmot in the ruck at the moment for the Magpies. Works his way to the front. I like that. Just puts a little bit of turn of pace. Zilm, speed, nice little kick off the ground. Couldn't get it going as far as he'd like. Lamont back there for UTS. And a little bit going on here. Speed against Ipovitz. Umpires do a good job to get it going. Unfortunately, it lands into trouble. Pushing back Robinson's, just the fumble. Couldn't get it clear, but it comes out. Sits nicely. Set underneath that was Cannon. I think he expected contact and didn't come. They've set up well, Western Suburbs. They've got some defensive lines set up. Go down the line, but turn it over. Find some space. Down the line, in fact, there's going to be a free kick here. And it's going to go against UTS. And the kick will go to Cannon. It was after the kick came away. Cannon applied the smother. Was obviously not appreciated by Harrick, and the kick going forward has found Bevan. Now he should get this. The experience of Paul Bevan will kick from just outside 50. He is a good kick of the footy. This to put Western Suburbs in front. Opens up. Goes around, gets that natural arc, the ball coming in. It's a beautiful kick from Paul Bevan. Beautifully weighted, right on line. And dare I say it, the Magpies are in front. Have a look at the kick again. Beautifully read. This modern trend of kicking with the natural arc. You just see opens it up. Kicks from 53 out. And it never looked like missing. Beautiful stuff from Paul Bevan. And impressive stuff from the Magpies early in this third term. That one's coming back. Failed to kick a goal in the first half. And at the 12.5-minute mark of the third quarter, they lead by a point. Robinson trying to get through the pack. And there again, Sherwood as well. Ball spilling free. Robinson trying to apply the tackle. Comes out eventually to Newbury. His handball's good to Sherwood. Running through. Now to Robinson. They were involved early. Gets the ball out. Lands in the arms of Zoppo. They go forward again. Bevan at the back of the pack. Pulled out. The good tackle applied from Mum. Spills free to Eto. Eto eventually trying to find Bevan. Couldn't get there. McGrath back to Eto. He's wrapped up in a tackle by Lamont. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. It's lifted a level this game. 2-9 plays 3-2. Bevan tackled as he took possession. Got it clear. And Robinson applies the tackle. Dribbles down the line and goes out of bounds. He's enjoying the game on the hill. Stock standard. Comes back, Edo with a run. Robinson, he's tackled as he took it. Good tackle applied there from Moyle. Ball spills free. Now UTS under the pump. Trying to get the ball clear. They do so now. One-on-one contest, as we've been saying. And a good tackle applied there from Pearson. In there is Tregoning for UTS, but the ball is wrapped up. Plenty of stoppages in this game. Good work from Gordon to get rid of his opponent. Just batted the ball clear. No one home, though, for Western Suburbs. Edo applies the tackle, and we'll see another ball up. Again, Gordon with a double fist. But it's Larby who tries to get the ball going. Off the back of the pack, though. McGrath just bounces over his head. Back in it, though. In there as well as Zoppo. Some good work from Meta. Quickly gets the ball going forward. Overrun. Plenty of Magpies around this one. Polly goes backwards. Now with targets down the line, they run out of space. And we'll have another boundary throw in 15 minutes mark of the third term. It's been all Western Suburbs. The difference being they've been able to put it on the board. Gordon up against, once again, Zilm. And he gets it going forward, but tracking it back is Lloyd. It wasn't Lloyd, that was Moyle. Comes clear. Plenty of pressure there on Eto. He's back in it again, and once again they run out of space. For a game that's played on a ground as large as it is, tend to get stuck in corners a lot. Gordon at the back, running through, some good work. Puts it forward, Bevan drops the chest mark, tries to get it going. Gets back on it, Meta goes back, handball's off, that to Perks. His handball just finds the boundary line. You can just see the frustration from Paul Bevan. Again, they go. Zoppo and Zilm. Sounds like the world's worst attorney's office. Big fist, but it's all UTS. Good tackle applied, and the reward will come. And Jake Ross will have a shot on goal, and a little bit going on at the bottom of the pack as well. But the tackle from Ross was good. And the reward will be a shot on goal. What can he do with the shot, though? We've kicked 2 goals, 9. this to open up a 7-point margin. Jake Ross steps inside 50. Good looking kick off the boot. They clap it through. And Western Suburbs are up and about now. They lead by 7 points. It's the tackle off the ruck contest. Just got the arms. In fact, he got a handball out. So a bit hard done by their UTS. Blindsided from the umpire. Not much in it. (27 plays 20). Western Suburbs now lead by 7 points. Cam Gordon brings it down, but UTS shark it off the back. They go forward. Can they get the quick response? Plenty of players around this. Off the deck. Got the run. Daniel Hines. Quick response. Exactly what they needed, UTS. Haven't scored this quarter until now. Straight out of the middle. Over the bat on the pack. Just look at this turn of pace from Hines. Gets around his opponent and sits nicely. The right boot. And goal to the bats. Margin back to 1 point. (19-minute mark, third term. And that one's coming back as well. One-point ball game. Gordon up against Murrell. Trying to go off the deck there was Cannon. Just complete air swing. Milligan Seville in there as well. Plenty of tacklers line up. Trying to get the ball clear was Zoppo. It gets clear to Sherwood. A quick scrubby kick from the right boot. Eto, another one from Meta. Just off the deck. And the mark's taken fortuitously. I think that's Larby out there. Ball goes clear again. Getting arm in there. Causing a bit of trouble was Jared Polly. Eventually goes over the boundary line. You can see the green armbands being worn by the players. It is, of course, community umpiring appreciation round. Great initiative at the grassroots level. Mum with pace, trying to hit the ball. Can't find the handle, runs out of space. The boundary throw in. 20 minutes, we've just ticked into time on in the third. 3 goals from Western Suburbs. They lead by 1 point. Gordon up against Murrell. Gordon wins this one forward again, but once again it's UTS. Harvey tracks it back. The quick kick goes forward. Back there in trouble with Milligan Seville. Pops it up nicely into the path of Pearson. But once again running out of space. Might have been a free kick. A little bit going on here with Sherwood and Caker. Umpire lets them sort it out themselves. Murrell go up against Cannon. In fact, coming in late. And UTS drive it forward. Like an ill afford another one here, Western Suburbs. Barrett in there for the Magpies. Just got the jumper and made sure that Hines couldn't get away from him. And the umpire comes in to ball it up. 21 minutes played, third term. It's a BLK AFL Sydney Round 6 match between Western Suburbs and UTS. And the umpire says holding the ball. Tried to break the pack there. Here's Milligan Seville. And now UTS with a chance. Meta with a good mark. Under pressure from McGrath. But up to the task. And now UTS with a shot on goal to wrangle back the lead. Izad Meta, exciting player. The designated top knot wearer for UTS tonight. Seems necessary for all teams to have at least one. Here's kicks offline. And that makes it interesting. We're tied up here at Henson Park. We're into time on in the third. It's all set up for a cracking last term. Plenty of movement, but nothing really presenting. So the long down the middle option. Oh, crunch was Milligan Seville. The ball goes forward again for UTS. Polly, in fact it's Mum, tries to break through the tackles, couldn't do so. Trying to break the tackles there was Kerber for UTS, but the umpire says we'll have it. And another ball up. No one up at all for either side, so Hines had to do the ruck work. Comes clear. A little bit of nervous energy coming through from the Western Suburbs backman. And once again, Harvey taking the mark, drives them in long. There's a player in space, will run onto this beautifully. It was Hines, I think, but unable to take the mark. And now Western Suburbs with a chance. Off the deck from Bevan. Meta back there, and leading McGrath to the ball, and it goes out of bounds. Love one here, the Magpies going to the final break. Their noses in front. Gordon gets over the top, falls to Charles. He's wrapped up. Eventually it spits out. Ross, Sherwood, he's shoved out of it. Met heavily there from Lamont. And it's on over there between the two of them. Ross and Lamont. Gordon comes in. This could get ugly. Umpire needs to move the ball on. Right in front of the boys. Everyone wanting to fly the flag. And the free kick comes. Good umpiring. Had the potential to blow up purely due to the geographical nature of being right in front of the supporter group there. Tends to happen that way. Good mark taken. And now it's a free kick. It's going to be a turn up. No. He's just pulled it back. So speed comes wide. Last opportunity, you'd have to think. They drive it in. Good mark taken. This is Mum. Turns around, steps into the 50, looks at the goals, sizes them up, won't go the distance. Just punched forward. And Larby relieves for UTS. 25 minutes played. Won't be long to go in this quarter. Looks like we're going to go into the final term. All tied up. It's a low-scoring affair here at Henson Park, but an intriguing one at that. Western Suburbs finally found their goal-kicking boots in that term. Able to put on 3 goals, but an answering goal from UTS sees the scores all level at three-quarter time. And this will be a race to the finish here at Henson Park. So as you go into the three-quarter time break, Western Suburbs 3-9-27, UTS 4-3-27. All square at Henson Park. Don't go anywhere. Join us again in about 5 minutes' time for all the action from the final term. Welcome back to Henson Park. If you've just joined us, it is an intriguing affair here between Western Suburbs and UTS. Scores level at three-quarter time. And you can just see the Western Suburbs bench breaking. They couldn't kick a goal in the first half. 3 goals in the third got them right back into this game. And it is all set for a sprint to the finish. Holds it aloft. Can the Magpies come home with a wet sail? Or will UTS just spoil the party? Tregonning out of the middle. Goes long. How will this one bounce? Lemmy. That big frame going forward. And umpire will have a close look at it. So throw it in. Western Suburbs still searching for their first win of the season. UTS only have the one themselves early on in that first round. Robinson been very good for the Magpies. Drives them forward, overrun on that occasion by Zoppo. Sherwood jumps on for the ride. Slams him into the ground. The umpire says, I'll have it. Gordon stood his ground against Larby. Wrapped up again. Plenty of players around this. No one giving anything away. Umpire Zoe wanted to change his mind when the ball came clear, but the whistle had been blown. Larby looks like they've moved him into the ruck to try and get him into the game. Tackle there. Harvey it was. A little bit going on off the ball. Can't afford that. Meta comes away. Drives them inside 50. Looking for... I think that was Breeze. Couldn't quite get there. And the kick comes out, but Meta again standing tall. Goes short. Half volley. Plays on. McGrath was in pursuit. Sits up nicely. Knocked out of the hands though. And comes away for Western Suburbs. Goes to Mum. In fact, it's just dropped down. Robinson. Kick off the deck. And they've got a player free forward. James Caker, traditionally more at home in the defensive half, but he now finds himself with a shot on goal. About 45 out, gives it a ride, and it goes out of bounds on the full. Get the feeling this one's going to go right down to the line. Comes in. And the mark taken by Harvey from UTS. Goes low and hard in the middle. Gordon steps around. Doesn't really look where he's going to. Might find a teammate pushing through is Ipovitz. And could have been a high tackle. Let a lot go tonight. It's been good. Been tough around the contest. Gordon gets rid of his opponent illegally, says the umpire. Larby, I think it is. It's going to come back. Interesting move by UTS to throw Larby into the ruck. Saw him a couple of times this year. Exciting forward. Haven't seen much of him. Larby gives it off. Kick comes in from Ipovitz, goes into the pocket. It's a good kick and a good mark taken. Deep in the pocket. Baker. Looks like he's lining up for a shot. Going to be a difficult kick from there. He's given it. Puts it up. Gives it plenty. It's coming back. Oh. Just a minor score, but with it comes the lead. Reset. It's been a very good defensive effort by both sides. Gordon the target, just drops short, gets a fist amongst it and causes the contest, which was good. Meta tracking this back, wants to keep it in, does so. Drives it back to the top of the square. Breeze at the back. Tregoning will run into an open goal and kick a goal for the UTS Bats. Sat beautifully for Tregoning. The original kick looking for Gordon that was just dropped short. No favours. Meta did very well to keep this in. Loaded up, looking for Breeze. And just sat beautifully for Tregoning at the back. Open goal. And that's one of the easier goals of the night. There's ruckman get tangled up. It's going to come to Gordon. A bit proppy. Now wants to go. Goes direct. The sit for Ross. Couldn't bring it down. Tackle was brilliant on Meta. Unrewarded. And again from Charles. Sherwood with a toe poke in there. Another one gets the ball moving his way. Has to go and get it. Charles comes up with it. Tackled out of it. Meta in there again. And this one eventually wrapped up. Bevan just working his way up to the contest. Keep an eye on him. Meta doesn't take possession, just puts it straight on the boot. And it works out well for UTS. Maddox drives them forward. Punch comes. Couldn't get the fist on it though. Breeze with a nice little handball. Gives it back to Caker. Drops him into the top of the square. Milligan Seville tops it forward. Will it go through? It hits the post. 8 points the margin now in favour of UTS. They go to numbers. Sherwood at the back. Did well. Being held. Umpire lets it go. Eto. Now he's been put down. And the umpire once again lets it go. And there's plenty going on here. Sherwood and Harvey go at it. Eto comes in to settle things down a little. Moyle, he just drives them long into attack. Breeze just gets rid of his his opponent. Just too strong, too big. Swings around now. Play on is the call. Has to go short to the pocket. Couldn't take the mark. Was Harvey. Lines them up. Has a go. Gets it home. As easy as you like. A great goal from Harvey. And UTS skip out to a 14-point lead. Some good work from Breeze. The initial contest. Just got rid of his opponent there. I think that was Milligan Seville. Took the mark. Options dried up in the centre of the ground, so he's forced to go back. Harvey just one step. And she sailed home. Back in the middle again, another recalled bounce. 3-9, plays 6-5. Goes forward again, but getting in there is Eto. Jordan drives them forward. Their defence has been great tonight, UTS. Giving up no free run of the ball, but eventually it's Mum who drives them forward. Running onto it is Bevan. Could have been chopping the arms, and the umpire says yes. Bevan with an opportunity to stem the bit of the flow. Free kick was definitely there. Just got the arms. And the free kick came. Bevan, they need this. Just pulls it to the left. 3-10 now, Western Suburbs. Inaccuracies are costing them. $13 points to the margin. Short kick, just trying to break the line, but Western Suburbs got the numbers here. Good mark going back with the flight of the ball. They need to get it in quickly. They do so now. Charles turns his back on it. Really needed to make a contest. Robinson applies the tackle. It's a good one. The ball spills clear, and UTS now player one out with Larby. Could be the master stroke. Kick further afield, looking for Hewitt, but a good punch from behind. And the ball goes out of bounds. Costly miss from Paul Bevan. Really changed the dynamic of this final term. Wilmot in the ruck. Having to go up against him, Larby. Trying to work his way through was Maddox for UTS. The umpire says, I'll have it. very early on that occasion, both ruckman. Maddox eventually gets it off the back of the pack and drives them up again. Kaker just throws it back inside. Probably lucky the ball was out of bounds first. And boundary throw in. Westwood desperate to get the win this afternoon, this evening. Trying to get their side settled. Quite a number of late signings for Western Suburbs, which really put their pre-season back quite a bit. Just trying to settle into a regular squad. Mum drives them forward, looking for Ross. Causes a contest. Bevan at the fall of the ball. Pops it back up for Mum. Has to go inside. He's got the runner. Good kick and a good work there on the ball. But Charles with a big handball over the top. Sits nicely for Robinson. Dispossessed. Ross back to Charles on the outside of the boot. Offline. 3 goals, 11 now. Just cannot buy a goal at the moment, Western Suburbs. They've had their opportunities. Side, the mark's taken. Well, he wasn't in that contest. Down the line, and another good mark taken. Hines on this occasion, he's been good for UTS. Wants to find a target forward. Big punch comes from Lemmy. Wants the boundary line and gets it. Let's play it down. Polly it is that's down. Can't afford to give up a goal here. Ball comes clear, just plenty of traffic around the football as it's been all night. Mum tries to go in and get his own football, dispossessed. Trying to break through the tackle was Hewitt. And now's Kaker trying to get his head through the ball. Western Suburbs with a bit of space. Taron Edo goes wide. Doesn't travel the distance. And they've found a target in Bevan, well up the ground. Moves the ball on quickly. Numbers in favour of UTS here. Some good work from Robinson, stays down, but Meta was able to get there first. And a fortuitous kick going forward. Now UTS with an ugly looking kick going there, finds Breeze, turns around on the left boot. Does that go the journey? It does. And Harvey with the football. This to make it very difficult. 13 and a half played. And it is Jacob Harvey with a shot on goal. Once again from a turnover from Western Suburbs. Take nothing away from the UTS defence. They've been good tonight. Harvey's kick coming around, just missing. Might have just hit the post. It was close. Numbers again in favour of UTS. Sherwood has to apply the tackle. Gives it off to Hewitt. Hewitt short kicked. Here's the numbers on the rebound. And the mark's taken. It's Wilmot. What can he find going forward? Well, nothing. The initial stage just has to go back to Lemmy. Lemmy sees something he likes and goes that way. They need some run, Western Suburbs, and they need a goal. They could have raffled that then, UTS. Eventually it was Larby who took the one-hander. Moves it on quickly. They're starting to stick their marks now. Crucial point of the game. 15 minutes played, final term. UTS by 13 points. Gonna slow it down, maintain possession. Wide, and with a fist in there, Polly sees it over the boundary line. Difficult times for the Magpies. Running out of time. Wilmot very shallow. Takes it out of the ruck. Almost should have been recalled. And the kick doesn't do Paul Bevan any favours. Difficult bounce, goes over the boundary line. A fantastic effort from the UTS boys tonight. They have been very disciplined in defence. It has been very much a one-on-one contest. Sherwood finds Bevan. Needs to come into the game. Pops it up. And that's a very early shove. Gets away with it, Gordon. Should have taken the mark. Might have taken the mark. He may have been penalised. And a good mark taken going back. Harvey comes out wide. Another shove. Okay, says the umpire. Running on is Hines. And too high. Free kick will go to UTS. Wants to move it quickly. Player out all on his own and takes the mark. I think it's Larby. And that's the floating ruckman going forward. And Larby can almost seal this one with a goal. Quite in the early stage of this game, Tom Larby. But stand up when counted. This to make it very difficult for Western Suburbs. Kicks it nicely, just fades to the right though. Leaves the door just open for Western Suburbs, but they need to do it quickly. It's been hard to move the ball against the UTS defence. Big fly through the middle of the ground, unable to take the mark. There's Gordon, I think, coming through. Tackle comes, the over-the-shoulder kick now. They're making things up, and the mark's taken, and not 15, says the umpire. Gets popped up to Lloyd. His handball moves it further afield to Tregonning. Dispossessed by Ross. Now he drives them forward. They need some torque. Unable to take the mark, Gordon. Gets it on. Good handball. Need the running play. How will this sit? Not well for Charles. Runs into a brick wall in Sherwood. And off the deck, the bats go forward. Inside-outside handball. Ends up in the arms of Ipovitz. He drives them inside 50. Unable to take the mark, Larby. He's gone forward now. Tackle comes. Some good work by Baker, who's been handy for the bats. Players converge. UTS can just wrap this one up now. Stoppage after stoppage. And they'll be home. Costly misses on goal in this final term by the Magpies. Might just cost them the game. Really, it wasn't only just this final term. Unable to put a goal on in the first half. Robinson just shrugs away from three tacklers and gets the ball clear. At the back of the pack, Bevan unable to take the mark, going back with the fly of the ball. That occasion was Harricks, and has not paid the mark. Ball's up, and falls clear to Harvey at the front of the pack. He gets on the boot quickly. Time is running out. Milligan Seville spins out of one, tackled by a second. The free kick's going to come too high. Need to go quickly. Kick from Milligan Seville, not a bad one, looking for Charles. Just couldn't stick the mark. Wrapped up in the tackle again by this stoic UTS defence. Into time on, final term. Scores were level at the final break, but it's UTS who have put the goals on in the final. Comes clear. And they've got the run. Breeze out on his own. Takes an easy mark, got away from his opponent in Lemmy. Goes to the pocket. Good kick, well weighted. And the mark's taken. Baker steps around one, goes back inside, runs his full measure, sizes them up. I reckon he's kicked that. He has. What a goal. Adam Baker for UTS seals it, and the Bats are home. Set up well by the Bats. Breeze it was that got away from his man, took an uncontested mark. And Baker running into the pocket. Took the mark. And then went one way, stepped inside. Got around Polly like he wasn't even there. Sizes them up. Drop punt. You can see the shadow on the post. Dead giveaway. Beautiful goal. They're now out by 20 points. And they go forward again, UTS. Harvey been good when it counted. Good kick going forward. Unable to take the mark there was Hewitt. Goes through for a rush behind. Polly out to speed. Just went quiet when they most needed him. Speed. Kicks a good one. Mark's taken out in front. Trying to get around his opponent there was Zoppo. Had to get the kick away. Go forward. Bevan overhead. Couldn't bring the mark down. Turns it around. Charles in pursuit. Gets it back. Mum was there as well. And taken over the line. 22 minutes, nearly 23 minutes played, final term. The margin 21 points in favour of UTS. They came looking for their first win, Western Suburbs. Confident they could try and get some stability in their side. But a goalless first half is going to cost them. Robinson. He's been one of their best tonight, but couldn't find it. It's going to be a downfield free kick here, though, to Western Suburbs. Behind the ball. And they'll have a shot from deep in the pocket, the Magpies. Charles steps up to take the kick. Charles. Under all sorts of pressure. Steps around. The umpire likes it. He's kicked the goal, I think. They may not be done with yet, the Western Suburbs Magpies. Margin back to 15. See if we can pick up the free kick. Just off the plate. Back in the middle. Western Suburbs go forward again. Can they get another one? Robinson steps around, tries to get on the boot, smothered. Coming through, Milligan Seville, he's wrapped up. Bevan in there trying to get him out of the bit of space. Approaching the 25-minute mark. Zoppo tries to bring it down. Can't run through. Meta steps over, gets it clear. Ball spills. And goes over the boundary line. Eto trying to get there, couldn't get it in. Time running out for the Magpies. They trail by 15 points. UTS done all the attacking in this final term. Bevan spits the plaque, opens it up but misses to the far side. And the siren sounds here. Doesn't sound for very long, but it sounds And umpire's just checking that was a siren and not a horn. I think you'll find it was the siren. Till the timekeeper blows it again. I think they'll find the siren, but the calls come to keep going. We've stopped our clock. Started up again. I think you'll find we're now playing extras, and the mark's taken by UTS. Harvey. Confusion on the sideline. The mark's taken by Gordon. Called to play on. Gets a kick away. Trying to get through there was Ross. Sits up for Robinson. Ball will find the boundary line soon. In fact, Robinson gets it and goes. Tries to step inside one. Does so. Now the siren sounds. And it was a stutter start into that final term. But in the end, it's the UTS boys who run out with a 14-point win. And they'd be very happy with their final term. And a nice touch with the boys, making sure they shake hands with the umpires at the end of the game. Western Suburbs, we've said it a number of times tonight, just a goalless first half of football. We're only able to kick, I think it was 7 points in the first half. And in the end, that is what has cost them. They went down by 14 points to UTS here in round 6 of the BLK AFL Sydney competition. UTS get their second win of the season. Western Suburbs still to get a mark in the W column for 2015. Intriguing contest, very low scoring as you can see. But congratulations to Nick Fosdyke and the boys from UTS. Some old sparring partners matching up there, Paul Bevan and Nick Fosdyke. Teammates in the Swans. And now best friends off the field, I'm sure. We'll wrap those things up here at Henson Park. It was a close contest. It was all square going into the final term. And credit to the UTS boys who were able to get their noses in front in the final term and come away winners by 14 points. Western Suburbs 4-12-36, UTS 7-8-50. It's the Bats by 14 points here at Henson Park. Make sure you join us next week for the BLK AFL Sydney Match of the Week. And make sure you check out the website for all the news and happenings around the AFL Sydney competition.